This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. Yeah, y'all see my boy Errol the True Spence. I saw him. Again, thank y'all for y'all support in regards to my father. But I've been watching. I've been paying attention, folks. I see him. He's just stunting right now. He's just trying to test Terrence Crawford's temperature. I'm gonna say that again. He's just trying to test that man's temperature. When he said, I ain't scared of no from Nebraska. I ain't scared of no from Nebraska. Let me get into it. I ain't scared of no nickel from Nebraska. He's just trying to test the man's temperature. I told y'all, man, when y'all sit here and say rhetoric and foolery that Errol the True Spence is ducking Terrence Crawford, come on, folks. All y'all got to do is look at the tail of the tape. Look at who's the bigger fighter. Look at who can levy the onslaught of the tactical aggression, the technical punching placement, the body snatching work style. Look who's the bigger and more punishment style fighter. Why would Errol the True Spence be afraid of Terrence Crawford? He's fought way bigger guys than him, man. The man has sparred Floyd Money Mayweather, a guy who is leagues and shoulders above Terrence Crawford when it comes to the skills department, folks. So there's no fear in Errol the True Spence. All this rhetoric about him being the boogeyman, it's been debunked and his power has been exposed. Please look at Mikey Garcia, folks. There's no exposed of power. He could have got Mikey Garcia out of there quicker, but he didn't. He chose not to because he wanted to show you guys a new wrinkle. He even fooled me. He was giving you guys a new wrinkle. And now you see the Bud Camp are not as hot. And they're not as hot to make that fight. Bomac and them, when he was asked that question not too long ago, oh, we going to fight, what about Errol the True Spence? He was talking about some other mandatories. They not hot no more because they see that just like Terrence Crawford, Errol the True Spence can switch that thing up. I've said it before, and it's a series that I'm continuing. Errol the True Spence is going to bulldoze Terrence Crawford. He's the bigger guy, man. He's built a certain way. Certain fighters are built certain ways. Terry Norris was built like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, certain fighters are just built a certain way, folks. To a lesser degree, Canelo Alvarez is built like that because people can't drop that man. Some fighters are built a certain way that you just can't. You can levy punishment on them, but you can't damage them. And I believe it's genetics, and I just believe it's the fiber and the being of that person. And Errol the True Spence just has those special genetics. People got to see that for what it is. He's the bigger, the stronger fighter. They're even in speed. They're even in skills. Terrence Crawford has more range, you know what I'm saying, and more reach because, he got those long arms, man, damn near close to 80 inches? Man, it's just ridiculous, his reach. But Errol the True Spence got that power, man. His reach is no slouch. It's in the 70-something percentile. I think it's about 72. That's way above average. Plus, the man has lateral foot movement like nobody's business. So he'll get in there. Trust and believe that. And the question is, can Terrence Crawford handle the mental and physical pressure that Errol the True Spence can put him under? See, that's the $1 million puzzle and the $1 million questions folks are not asking themselves. We know Terrence Crawford can box. We know he's athletic. We know Terrence Crawford is slick. We know Terrence Crawford has that dog in him. He has that killer instinct in him. But there's levels to this stuff, man. Shout outs to Meek Mills, man. And to me, Errol the True Spence just have more of a killer instinct. When they fight, it's going to be basically Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant. I'm going to say that again. When they fight, it's basically going to be Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be that hard of a fight. But we all know, with all the eggs on the table, all the marbles on the floor, who we going to go with? I'm going with MJ23, man. That's Errol the True Spence. Kobe nice. Kobe wicked. Kobe win some games now. Kobe will put it to MJ. But definitively, there's something in Kobe's game that he lacks. We know when the game is on the line, Jordan's going to take the highest percentage shot. Kobe's always going to take whatever shot's given to him. That's just how he's wired. Well, I'm using that comparison to compare Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol the Truth Spence. Bud's going to do whatever is at his disposal to try to win the fight. But Errol the Truth Spence, you can always count on him to follow the game plan and do the most effective and most highest percentage effectiveness of what makes sense in the fight. And that's what's going to separate the both of them. Errol the Truth Spence not going to deviate from the game plan. Whereas in that fight, Terrence Bud Crawford will deviate from the game plan. When he starts feeling Errol the Truth Spence power, he starts feeling that mental and physical pressure that he puts him under, he's going to deviate from the game plan. Because it's like they always say, everybody got a game plan until they get hit. But we know Errol the Truth Spence, no matter how much he gets hit. I've seen him get hit, definitively when he fought Emmanuel Lardy. That was probably the hardest shot he took. And he fucking he wobbled. He stanky legged. But he gobbled that shit up, man, and just kept on going. And the dude that hit him was huge. He was a big-ass welterweight. I've seen him take punishment from Kell Brook, man. And people can say what they want about Kell Brook, but Bud is not Kell Brook in terms of size. He's not. In terms of power and size, he's not Kell Brook. And people need to understand that. So whenever they fight, I feel sorry for Terrence Bud Crawford. I told you. Give up that fist of the North Star, man. I'm going to say that again. Give up the fist of the North Star. Because if you don't give it, it's going to get taken from you. And if Errol the Truth Spence got to bulldoze you and straight stop you to get it, then so freaking be it, man. That's what's going to happen. I think that fight is building up, man. It looks like there's some steam. I hope Errol the Truth Spence goes and shows up at that Amir Khan and Terrence Bud Crawford fight. I would love it. Because then it will set it up exactly like I told you guys. What was my target date? May of 2020, possibly September of 2020. It will set that thing up. Because they can just, for the rest of this year, continue to do their thing, continue to clean out the 147. And then next year in May, man, have that super fight. It'll be built up at the right time. And then Errol the Truth Spence can go ahead and steal that Cinco de Mayo date. He'll be able to steal it from Canelo because guess what? That's the second biggest fight in boxing. Canelo will have to take a backseat. There's no Canelo fight that will outsell that fight if Errol the Truth Spence fought Terrence Bud Crawford. We know that's the second biggest fight in boxing after a Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua.